And I'm Tosh Taylor, and we are going to help you get your life together today.
Big statements, big promises.
Big
promises I can't keep.
That is Heather McDonald, and Heather is joining us today. She is an absolutely amazing human who has her hand kind of in a bunch of different pots that involve a lot of children as well, and time management, which is what we're going to focus on today. But Heather, thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting. I've been a guest on podcasts before. I have never been on one that's been filmed. So the closest we got was a Zoom call with podcasters in the UK. But this is very a little bit nerve-wracking, but very exciting and fun.
Yeah,
this is really neat.
Don't you worry, we got you. Yeah,
thank you.
So let's start with kind of who you are and all these pots that I talked about. Let's talk about all the things that you own and your children and how it all led you to time management.
So I own myself a marketing company called Hala Connected, and I launched Hala in 2012, and we've been growing very consistently. We were growing consistently up to the pandemic, at which point our business doubled because everybody went, oh no, I do need a website. So that allowed us to grow our team, and it allowed us to do a lot, allowed me to kind of step back from a lot of the things that I don't love doing, which is actually one of the big time management tricks is delegate what you hate. And I'm also a one-quarter owner in a philanthropic consulting company where we help charities and nonprofits make money, do more, get organized, and do more for their mission. And that's called Philanthropica. There are two of us in the Atlantic region. There's myself and my business partner, Danielle Boucher. And the other two partners, the two founding partners, are in Montreal. While I'm doing all that, I also am a business coach because I've learned a lot of things over a little more than a decade. I have a background in therapy and I have a background in education, and when you put all of those things together, you can be a pretty solid business coach, especially since I did make all the mistakes that are possible to be made while doing this and while parenting 3 children. When I started Hala, I was actually a single mom of 3 children.
Whoa.
Yeah. So with all of those things, I was also a basketball coach, and I'm on a couple of boards, and I'm on a board of governors. I'm on all kinds of things. I'm one of those people.
Well, that's how we met you, through the business, professional business women.
Yeah. Exactly, I'm on their board. Yeah. So I burned out. I burned out really, really hard. I didn't see it coming. And for 4 years, I had been just doing more, pushing harder, and getting way better at being mad at myself. I was so good at every day I didn't get everything done that was impossible to do. I was like, well, I should be able to do this because all of those people can do all the things they're doing, so I should be able to do all the things they're doing. And then I saw a meme that said, you have the same 24 hours as Beyonce does. And I realized I had a new path because no, I don't. I'm really going to try to not swear because there was a word in there that I didn't say out loud.
So, good job. Yeah, star. We appreciate that. I can see it in your face.
I do not, you do not, we do not have the same 24 hours as Beyonce, and it's not just because we can't hire out everything. We don't have her energy levels. We don't have her physical makeup. We don't have all of the other things, and I don't have the same one as you or you. Mm-hmm. Working within what you have and having reasonable expectations of yourself, the same ones you have of other people, is the first step to time management. Because the biggest secret about time management is you can't manage time. It happens on its own. And there is not a darn thing you can do to change that. But what you can do is manage your energy. That is the only thing that you have control over in the run of your day. I realized that when I was sleeping very little, rolling out of bed and into my day immediately, and my day constantly got away from me, and I would set some priorities or have some things I wanted to do by the end of the day or the week, sometimes the month. And I'd finish my day, and I had been extremely busy for 10, 12, 13 hours, and I'd accomplished basically nothing. I really couldn't say what I'd done. So I just fell into bed and woke up the next day and did it all over again. That leads to burnout. There's no other place that can lead to. There's nowhere else that can go. So eventually, once I crashed and involuntarily had to take a nice, long, slow break and come back slowly, I started thinking about how I can do more without hating it. And I came up with, I'm a research person too, so I've got all of the books and I read all of the articles, and I still have access to some psychology journals, so I read all of those and I did. And I realized a lot of this stuff is really theoretical and it doesn't take into account that, you know what, that's not life. So when I started coaching, I was coaching business owners, and almost 100% of them said they don't get enough done and their team doesn't get enough done. Why aren't we getting enough done? The number one killer, this is not rocket science, is distractions. And everybody complains about them, but everybody still puts distractions on other people. Mm-hmm. So I don't want somebody interrupting me in my deep work, but if I've got a question and I'm the boss, I'm gonna go, send a Slack, send a team chat, knock on a door, do whatever, because I need this done right now. Something happened in the pandemic that caused a level of urgency that is entirely false urgency. So the biggest lesson that I learned was the more mad at yourself you are, the less you can do, and the more tired you are already, because you're literally fighting a battle inside constantly. That's exhausting. And secondly, if nobody's gonna die, it doesn't matter that much. It can be tomorrow's problem, and that's okay. Nobody is going to even remember in a week either that you killed yourself to do this job, mm-hmm. or that you communicated with them that it would get done another day. I actually gave a whole talk about this last night at BPW. And at the end, I'm like, so who thinks that none of this will work for them? I mean, one person, I love you, who raised her hand and said, the problem is, I get distractions from other people. I will get notifications. I will get these things. What can I possibly do? A lot of people, I have an inordinate amount of control over my schedule. And I understand that. I can decide. I do meetings on Thursdays and Fridays, and I do deep work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's because I'm my boss. Mm-hmm. My clients are all actually my boss, but within my office, I'm the boss. So I have the ability to decide that I'm going to run my schedule that way, and everybody doesn't. But if you have a job that you have to do and your boss gave you that job and then put you in too many meetings so you can't do your job, that boundary is yours to set now. I always recommend what we call chrono working. So if you're a morning person, I'm a morning person. Mm-hmm. So I am a get up early in the morning person and do some things. And often those things are it's the time for me, because I get up earlier than my kids and it's nice and quiet and I can just exist for a little while. But I am absolutely a pumpkin by 10 p.m. Do not ask me to write a report at 10 p.m. It will be mostly gibberish. Like, it's just not, I'm not a night person. Mm-hmm. If employers can give employees more flexibility with when they do their work, I understand with a brick and mortar that opens at this time and closes at this time, it's not possible. But there's lots of project-based stuff outside of those hours that some flexibility can be given. So if you're able to chrono work, that just literally means working when you have the most energy. That's it. Adjusting your entire schedule. And people who are working from home can do this even better, unless you are in a lot of client-facing tasks. Other than those, you can probably have some flexibility in your schedule. The other thing you can do is when you're doing deep work, tell everybody on whatever platform you use, I'm going to do deep work for the next 2 hours. I'm turning my notifications off. Your boss is not going to be upset if you say, I'm going to go work really hard on your priority for a couple of hours, so I'm not going to be on my phone. I am a boss. I promise you, it's not a problem. That's fine. So boundaries became a really big conversation that we had. Whether you're in an office and somebody can physically knock on your door, put up a sign that says, I'm working for 2 hours, I will not answer. One of the other ladies who was at the meeting said even in a cubicle, there was one of the guys would put caution tape over his cubicle when he was working, when he was doing deep work. So you walk up and it's a physical boundary. Sometimes the boundaries have to be put your phone away or turn off the notifications. Sometimes you need something a little bit more extreme, and both are good, though both are very good options. So boundaries tend to suck our energy. When they do that the most is in the morning. So everybody talks about morning routines and morning routines. Morning routine will take care of itself. I focus on a nighttime routine. For productivity, your nighttime routine is key. It's crucial. It's the thing. If you have checked your schedule so you know what clothes you're going to wear, you already have the lunches packed, you already have tomorrow's supper out, you already have this check, 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 check. When you wake up in the morning, first of all, you're like, look what I did for me. Like I did this, and that's all done, and everything's all done. And you can wake up slowly, because rushing into your day, especially rushing into your day by picking up your phone and letting the world in immediately, is a way for the rest of the world will determine your mood, they will determine your priorities, and they will determine your level of scatteredness. So that at the end of the day, you've been scattered, you've done everything, but you've accomplished nothing, all because your morning was shot. If you can wake up and focus on your 3 priorities a day, that's all you can do. Science is pretty much, social science is pretty much in agreement. You can accomplish 8 things a week and 3 things a day.
Really?
Yeah. Try to do more than that. Try putting it on your schedule. And if you're planning to do, this is what I used to do. This was my huge eye-opening moment. I use a Google Calendar, and everything is color-coded. And I would put in all the tasks that I planned to get done that week. I was not leaving myself time to eat, sleep, go to the washroom, shower. I had put in about, 120 hours of things that I really thought when I had it on my list, I should be able to accomplish this. And at the end of every week, I was mad at myself because I didn't accomplish it. I didn't accomplish anything, according to me.
Right.
Now, when I try to accomplish those 8 things and three things per day to move those 8 things forward, I am getting stuff out like I've never been able to in my life. The other thing that I don't no longer do is multitask. I single task obsessively because guess what? Everybody is single tasking. They're just trying to do it really fast. Our brains are not set up to do more than one thing. We physically can't. Our subconscious and unconscious can take care of the physical breathing and digesting stuff. Our conscious brain can do one thing. All you're doing is adding more plates to spin. And then you have to run around like a crazy person in your head, spinning all of the plates. Again, you're exhausted, don't know why, because you haven't accomplished anything. You haven't finished anything. Often what goes hand in hand with that multitasking are what I like to make up words.
We like that, yeah. That's good.
Procrastinations. So there's
I like
procrastinating.
that one.
There's procrastinating. I define procrastinating as email ping pong. If I don't want to do the thing I'm supposed to do next on my list, I'll leave my email open. And then I get to play email ping pong all day and do nothing but feel like I'm working. Absolutely accomplishing nothing.
I am 100% guilty of that one. Wow. Yeah.
I check my email.
The minute I move from one tab back into the email,
That's it.
done.
Yep.
I check my email 3 times a day, 8:30, 12:30, 4:30.
Yeah.
I could not manage if I was playing email ping pong all day.
I like that.
They come in,
Yeah.
your email, there's that level of urgency again.
Yeah.
We need to decide what's important and urgent, that a whole Eisenhower box thing, important and urgent but not important, urgent and unimportant, and whatever the other one was. So
Whichever combination you didn't say.
if it's urgent, important, you do it right now. If it's urgent but unimportant, email, you decide to do it later. I have times that I will do those things. And what I will do is take those emails, I don't go jump in and do the work, I take the email, let the person know I received it, and I put it on my list of 8 things where it belongs. I have my priorities. And I know what they are. And they're the only things that I can be focused on while I'm in that mode. So there's also procrastinating. I have lots of coaching clients who will be this close to launching their dream, and somebody who's going to be watching this is going to recognize themselves in it, and I'm not going to say your name. But every single time they were about to launch, she would email me and say, I started a new course. I'm going to get a new certification. I was like, I'm going to take your credit card away, so you can no longer sign up for new courses. This is a problem. But it kept her active without accomplishing.
Right.
Has she used those courses? No, she has not. But has she now launched? She's about to.
Okay.
It's going to be a huge thing in Moncton, and it all happened because she stopped procrastinating. The third thing that happens, and it definitely happens more in my world because I do marketing, so we do logos, we do website, we do social media, we do all of those things, print whatever it is. Procrastinating. Procrastinating might be my least favorite only because it's so tempting. You're about to launch everything and then you see another website and you're like, oh, we need to add this and this and this and this, and we need to add this and this, and we need to... No, you just need to launch. You just need to
Is
do.
that color going to say something wrong to the wrong person?
Yeah,
If you
this
like the
is-
color, then
Right.
leave the color.
Yeah.
No, this is something that happens in my retreats. It's like the theme. I do what's called a kick-ass business retreats.
Love it.
So it's a 3-day retreat, and the theme almost always ends up being nobody cares. Because nobody does. We care so much about that level of urgency, but I will fire off emails to my staff all the time at 5 o'clock in the morning. I do not expect them to answer. And they're all over the world, and they will email me back at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they have no expectation of me answering. Asynchronous work should be allowed to be asynchronous work. The point of Teams and Slack and all of them were originally asynchronous work. And we turned that into, no, you have to be tied here and have a mouse jiggler so people don't think that you're not working. Like, that's insane.
That is insane.
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
And all of that comes down, what we had talked about last night, to culture. Yes, but it's our culture. Yes, but it's our culture. Why is it your culture?
Why? Yeah.
Why has nobody pushed back and said, this doesn't work for me? And it doesn't work for any of us. And I asked the girl who had said, I'm like, do other people in the office feel this way? She said, everybody. Everybody feels this way. Well, then your culture is a culture of resistance and resentment. And no, that's not going to be fun. Which is actually my last really top key. You either need, when I was going through my burnout, I had to eliminate negative things. Once I had done that, the thing I forgot to do was add positives. The number of business owners I've talked to in the last 2 years, when I ask them, what do you like to do? What do you do for fun? They don't know. Because they're where I was when I was getting up, 5 o'clock in the morning, going to bed at well after midnight, getting up at 5, going through my day, crashing, getting up at 5, going through my day, crashing. That's what their life is. Weekends too, all of the things, because wherever you are, you're not there. There is no level of presence anywhere because you haven't planned it out. So plan fun like it's your job. Literally put it in your schedule. And commit to it the way you would commit to a meeting with any of the most important people that you have to talk to in the run of a week. You are your most important person. And you are the biggest key for you to be productive. Absolutely the biggest key. So if you don't have fun and enjoyment in your life somewhere, that's exhausting and it's not sustainable. You have to maintain and you have to keep up with yourself. The easiest way to do that, boundaries. I know, it keeps, and not being mad at yourself. So they're not typical time management, because I'm not telling you to wrangle your time. I'm telling you, I understand you can't.
I was 100% expecting this to be here's how you color code your Google Calendar. I wasn't expecting, all of these.
Be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
The way
Realistic
you work.
goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a tactics-based person. That's why I coach. Because I can move people in under 3 months from being as overwhelmed as I was they would call it, there's women, I learned this last night, women have spaghetti brain and men have waffle brain. So women's brains go like this, and men have the little thing, which is why they have one of those is called sleep.
Yeah.
So they just lay down and go to sleep. I will say not all men do, because I coach a lot of men who have the same exact issues, or their team does and they don't know how to fix it. So it's not a gendered thing. I think it used to be
Probably.
quite a bit, and I think the pandemic has, instead of helping women, it hurt men. Like, it brought us all to this place where we are all need to be on all the time. And that's simply not sustainable. Not only is it not sustainable for productivity and for the health of your business, but it's not sustainable for your physical health.
That's right.
It's just not. So no, I don't. And the tactics, like the specific tactics person for person, entirely dependent on them. So everybody, I can't come in and tell you how to color code, because you would probably hate my system.
Yeah.
But there's a system you'd like.
Yes.
That's why you can do a lot of learning, but you can also do some coaching. There's tons of people out there who can help with time management.
Yeah. Excellent. Amazing. I want
So
to
much talking.
I want to keep going.
I know. There's so many things and so many little things we could dive into there, but we only have so much time.
Exactly.
Nice one.
That's what I'm here for, just for the segues.
Heather, can you tell people how they can find you and learn more?
You can find me at Hala Connected on Facebook, Instagram. Our website is hala.agency. I am considering restarting my Kick-Ass podcast, where this is literally the stuff that I talk about, and every time I learn something really cool, I put it on our podcast. But really, the best and fastest way to reach me, you'll be reaching my team, but they know how to find me, is to go on Facebook or Instagram and just send us a message.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Yes. No problem. This was really fun. It was a lot of fast talking, but
Great
that's
way to
time
start our day.
management.
Great way to start our day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you all for watching and for listening, and we'll be back next week.